Rage on that beat, going crazy.
What's up, my people? It is your girl, Kicks for Fresh or K Fresh, and I am bringing back another episode of Pop the Culture. Now, if you are new here, Pop the Culture is a weekly live where we talk about sneakers, fashion, and pop culture. So I'm very excited to really just bring someone who I think is a breath of fresh air in the YouTube space. Not only does she talk about sneakers, she give you some looks. She's really into the neutrals and the fear of gods right now. If you don't know who I'm talking about, it is Miss Talks.with.TJ. I'm very, very grateful to have her on here today. Before I actually bring her in from the backstage, I do want to welcome everybody into the stream. So as you can see, we got your average sneakers guy. What's up? You said you waiting on this one. Me too, because when this Talks with TJ, sis gonna keep it real. So we gonna have some fun tonight. We got James F already talking about our abs. See, second comment, like, can y'all just wait till later on when it get dark or something? Like, y'all just be doing too much. We got the superhero. What's up? STL stand up. Thanks, bro, for coming through. We got my sis Laces and Kicks. Thanks for coming through. Sneaker vibes only. This is Mrs. Support Everybody. So I shout outs to you because you don't miss a live. You don't miss a video. I really appreciate the support that you give me each and every day. We got Kicknology in the building. What is up, Kicknology? Salutes to you. I hope that you are doing well, brother. We got A White. Thanks for coming through. And I do apologize, y'all. I am in a room and it's a little echoey, so y'all gonna have to forgive me. I don't have a fancy mic like Talks with TJ. So when she come on and the audio quality ain't up to par, just know she got 22,000 subscribers, okay? And I'm here with my little 2,000. We also have Jorge in the building. We got Caress TV. And then let's see, we got Letitia. So I know that there's going to be some other people coming through. This is for some reason been a much anticipated episode of Pop the Culture. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring Talks with TJ into the stream. So what is up, Talks with TJ? Just say hi to everybody as people are still coming into the stream. I know I'm a clown. I am a clown.
No,
I know.
Listen, I absolutely love it. Thank you guys so much. Absolutely for tuning in. Thank you, Kay, for having me on. Listen, every subscriber matters. It does not matter if it's 2,000, 20,000. When I hit 2,000, listen, I did a whole video saying thank you to everyone that chose to be part of the journey. And that's truly what it is. You're learning that. I'm still learning that on this road that I'm on, but truly humble. Thank you for having me on. Everybody, you felt this was a highly anticipated live. I saw the comments on Instagram like, man, I cannot disappoint apparently tonight. So I thank you guys, truly.
We got your favorite in the building. What's up, controversy? Look, this is the two swoosh right here. Like, if this ain't no day one right there, man.
No,
what's up, Ashley?
Listen. That is absolutely my guy, my wrench holder, all that.
Yeah, that's what's up. So whilst we have some people coming into the stream, why don't you just start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and really briefly just what your channel is all about?
Absolutely. So if you guys don't know, I'm Talks with TJ. It used to be AKA TJ Two Swoosh Chains based on all of the Nike chains I would wear. Right now it's definitely the Mamba every single day. But it recently got switched to Yeezy based on blessing a care package of Yeezys that I received. You guys can check out my channel. But yeah, so I have my YouTube channel, Talks with TJ. It truly centers around budget talks, basic money management skills, because that is what actually drove me to start my channel. Because young adults similar to myself would wonder, you're always buying clothes or buying shoes, but you don't seem to struggle financially. And I'm like, it's not that I don't have the same, things things on my plate in terms of expenses, debts, liabilities, savings, goals that I have. But if you create a budget, it allows you to enjoy the little things and take care of your responsibility. So back in 2018, I started my channel because I wanted to share that. I just felt like it was totally missing. Young adults can see in front of them tons of clothes, cars, shoes, vacations, homes, everything on social media. For one, half of that is just a fallacy. It's a facade. It's not really what it seems. But for those of us that have it, I think educating young adults on a smart way to go about it, a way that's intentional, is something that's missing. And so I'm happy to bring that to my platform. And then, of course, unboxings, reviews that turned into how to style and lookbooks. I have no idea how it even ventured into that. But that's a really fun part of the channel now too. So I added that element, and I think that's helped quite a bit, because it's a lot of young ladies like you and myself. We still have that tomboy in us, and women are like, I don't know how to style this, so I really want a shoe, but I'm not sure what it'll look like. I just need some ideas, and so I'm happy to provide that for people. And I love that people, they appreciate, especially my day ones, they appreciate the content that's not centered around hype. It's just true to myself, and I want people to always know that the buying behavior you see on my channel, that's just me. I always joke now, I'm not QVC. I don't just show every shoe that happens to drop on the market. That's just not me. There are channels that will give you all of that, and I watch those channels too. I think everybody brings something different. For me, you're seeing exactly what I buy in my collection to enjoy and to have and to wear. And so I just want you to know, you guys to know that. And I just think whenever you're creating, just be authentic. Whether it's on YouTube, you guys can follow me on Instagram at Talks.with.TJ. I post tons of content there because I have to dump a lot of it out of my phone. So a lot of styled looks on foots are on Instagram as well. And then I'm always talking just all kinds of stuff on Twitter at _Talks.with.TJ. But I love engaging with you guys. I do my best to get back to all comments.
And you do a wonderful job, better than what I do some days, because I know that it can be very overwhelming. Yeah. So we got a couple new people that's just joined the stream. What's up, Norbert? Thanks for coming through. He said that fro is fresh. She got it. Volume, shape, all that. Come through COVID, because COVID really had my hair growing out here. Wizard, what's up, bro? Thanks for coming through. She said budgeting matters, which I do agree. And I will say that honestly, watching your channel has really helped influence me to better understand what our needs and our wants are. Like, obviously, I don't need any sneakers. I don't need another pair of sneakers. However, when it comes to being an adult and having the autonomy to purchase what you want when you want, you have to realize that there are some consequences in that when you're not thinking about how to plan that, right? And so one of the things I think that I really learned from you, and I think we'll segue into this next question, is this understanding of what finances are and how to manage that with still appreciating the finer things in life. So I know your channel has evolved over the years, like you've already said. So can you speak a little bit more to what that evolution was or is, and how, and I guess what has influenced you to branch out into these different things? So you talked about styling. You do still have the finance and the money management. The unboxings, I think, are just phenomenal. I think I'll say that. And I just want to give you your flowers, because, I'll be trying to do a little something on mine. But the fact that you are able to give a different look, like it's not just, okay, here's the box, here's the shoe, but you're giving like B-roll and all this. There has just been a lot of evolution. So what has influenced you to do that? And how do you really just manage putting all that together to make sense of everything?
All right. So let's start with the financial part. So when it comes to finances, so first off, my bachelor's was in finance. And it was really eye-opening how broken our curriculum can be, whether it's in high school or when you go to secondary education, that the only personal finance class that was even offered or given, it was only required for finance and accounting majors. And that was the one class that really taught you how to sit down and manage money. We had an amazing project where based on the major you were in, you needed to figure out what was the median salary for the location you wanted to live in for that job, but also then based on, cost of living, where you would live, and, do you have kids? Do you have a pet? Do you have a new car, student debt? You had to calculate all of that. So you had a real understanding of what a lifestyle would look like for you. And if you were kind of dreaming off in the clouds, thinking mom and dad are still taking care of everything, or if you were going to realize you had to live like a broke recent graduate still eating ramen to be able to take care of everything. And, just I went through that course. I absolutely loved it. And then when you graduate, I was lucky enough to have a mom that was just great with money, and she instilled those things into me. Now, I still made my mistakes when I was younger. Like, I need everybody to understand that I should have saved more. I should have dumped more into investments early on, but you don't know that until you're really thrown into it, and you have to make your own decisions. And so I would start tweeting just a lot about, how to create a budget. And it's not a bad thing, because people think of the B word as just a really bad thing. Like, oh my goodness, no, I don't want to create a budget. It means I can't have fun. And that's not the case. Like, if you have a budget and you and the way I put it in my book, like you have the final four. So you have the first four, and you need to look at like the first four. You need to make sure housing is taken care of, transportation. You need to make sure that your car, is taken care of. And then if you do have like those debts, those liabilities, all of that needs to be accounted for. Once you get those done, your fixed expenses, all of us may have some variable expenses or other fixed expenses relative to ourselves, but you should have a chunk of disposable income there, and you get to pick what you want to do with it, right? You're an adult. That is all on you. That's where the fun begins, but you still need to have some boundaries with your fun. And I feel like we need to learn this as adults. You have to have boundaries no matter what. And so I think that budget gives you boundaries to play within, and you can play within them guilt-free, right? Like, if I budget, if I look at a release calendar and I'm like, okay, there are 2 shoes, hands down, I really want. I'm not going to say I'm going to get them because it's Hunger Kicks out here, and we barely get a thing these days. But okay, if you see 2 shoes you want to get, budget that money. Like, what it's going to cost for a shoe. If I'm grade school, it's normally $140 for a retro and add tax on there. And I'm like, okay, if I need to budget $300 for 2 pairs of shoes that come out, awesome, I'll do that. And I'll make sure other things are taken care of. I'll look at a whole year out. Christmas is the same time every year. I don't know why we all act surprised when December 25th rolls around and we're like, oh my God, I don't know what's happening. No, it's the same time every year. Just like that Jordan 11 drop is the same time every year. So plan ahead. I can't look at my mom and be like, I'm sorry, but like this Jordan drop, so I didn't get you anything. No, plan ahead. Like, and that's what, that's why I introduced like sinking funds. You have sinking funds, and they're a great way to break things up, make them manageable, right? Create manageable steps for yourself that makes you feel like you're winning and you're working towards a goal. And one of my friends was like, you should just start a YouTube channel. After I wrote my budgeting ebook, which is free for everybody, she's like, just start a channel, because some people learn better through audio and video, and I think you'd be great on camera. And I'm like, I think you've lost your mind. But I started that back in 2018, and I was really grateful. MJO23 Dan, like one of the great sneaker historians, actually featured me as like a brand new creator on his channel, and it just kind of went from there. Now, it was a lot of different money talks, and I'll probably revisit a lot of those now that I'm at 22K versus being at like 2K back then. I'll probably revisit a lot of those, but it was just everything I thought we weren't being told, we weren't being taught. And as that started to evolve, I think one day I just threw an outfit on my bed, and I was like, that would look good with those shoes I just picked up. And then it just kind of evolved into, well, what if I actually showed people what it looked like? And when it comes to, you said the editing has evolved. I spend more time consuming content that's not sneaker YouTube than anything else. Like, sneaker YouTube is actually probably the smallest amount that I consume on YouTube, just because there are so many other genres, whether you branch into just full fashion or other commentary channels or just actual resourceful channels like Think Media. I think using those allows you to learn and absorb a lot that you may not get on your own, because you're going to have to stumble through this. Like, I'm self-taught. Right. I taught myself everything, and I do everything on a phone. I'm not sure if people know that.
Can you say that again for the people in the back?
Everything is done on a phone, people. Like, it's all done on a phone. I'll have people, inquire, oh, what kind of camera do you use? Somebody actually just commented that on a video recently. They were like, when you're doing your standing commentary, what kind of camera do you use? And I'm like, a Samsung Galaxy S10e. I put that in the description of every video, and I'll continue to use phones. Listen, I will try to take this phone to the ends of the earth. Okay. Like, can I hit 50K with just the phone? Not because I can't go out and get a camera, but I was told something just really, I think, impactful one day when I was just kind of getting some advice from Cousteau, and it's, you can upgrade all of your technology, but at the end of the day, you as the creator, the content, you make, the connection you have with people, that's what's going to keep them there. Not the quality of camera. I've seen people with 720p quality and they, continue to grow at a really massive rate because they can draw you in. So I spent the time just looking at different fashion channels like Clothes and Bits. She's a great creator that is really big, still into outfits and streetwear. And she just does some masterful things, and it's just really simple. And I'm like, okay, I want to try that, which is why I got the backdrop actually based on her videos. I'm like, I want to try to recreate this, and I got the backdrop. And it's really just a learning process, play around. Like I probably look crazy to my dog all the time because I'm literally moving around, different objects and things in my apartment, trying to figure out, how can I bring this to life? How can I make somebody go, man, that just looks really good, right? The whole point of it is you're just trying to provide a visual and a captivating experience for people, and by maximizing what you have. And that's what I hope to do every time. It's been a lot of experimenting lately with, like, do I do picture in picture? Do I chop up the views? Do I do 3 panels? Like, I don't know, half the time I'm just trying different things. But I would encourage creators to get outside of whatever niche they're in and view how other people create, watch how other creators, edit, and how do they keep your attention, and what does it mean to try to be 1% better every single video? What does it mean to try to be twice as good in half the time? I have not mastered that yet. My videos are still far longer than I want them to be, but it becomes a really self-aware journey where you're trying to constantly get better because it's good for you, but I think you owe your viewers that too.
Right. And I will say that one of the things that has worked for me in terms of how do I get better, how do I improve, is I actually sometimes look at my own videos. So when I go and I look at my very first video that I did November 2019, it looks completely different than today.
Don't you want to apologize to your viewers? Like, I am so sorry y'all sat through that.
Lighting was poor. They couldn't hear me.
I feel so bad. I've gone back, like so right now, and I'm very weird in this way, and I know that. So like on my iPad, I have a good notes, and I imported in a calendar, and it's a calendar that I can fill in. So I do my best to map out content, at least a skeleton or a blueprint, like a year in advance, based on so many videos.
Get out of here.
No, really, yeah. So the rest of 2020. Awesome. 2021 was already pretty much planned out outside of drops. Now, when drops come in and releases and packages and clothes, I just work those in. And of course, when breaking news happens, you talk about that. But I try to plan out like 3 videos a week. And I think that's where it comes in. It's nice to not be my content is not only derived from a product, right? I'm not a slave to the product. I don't feel as if I can't bring anything to the table if I don't have a shoe in hand, or if I don't have a brand new unboxing of Fear of God or Essentials. And so I'll map out that content, and now I'm going to have to go back to all my 2018 videos and look at those to pretty much refresh that content. And I'm going to go, oh my God, I feel like I need to just send care packages to everyone who sat through all of those videos, but I appreciate you all for suffering through those.
Yeah, and I think that that's also the beauty of being a content creator, is somebody who really wants to, I guess, be a maximizer. And what I mean by that is you see something and you want to think about how to do it better. It's not like, let me just sit in the same rut of doing the same thing. And I think that is how your channel has evolved. It's like, I can sit and talk about the same thing, same topic, do the same exact thing each and every day, which is go every Saturday to the mall and grab a sneaker and do a vlog. But that's not really gonna always grab the attention of people, especially women in this space. There's not that many of us, so I can't compete.
We notice all the little things.
Listen. But anyway, let me get into these comments really quickly because we got a fresh culture in the building, and we will be talking a little bit about this collaboration a little later. We got Retravia, which is one of my sorority sisters. So shout outs to you for coming through. Jonathan, this is a new name for me, so I don't know if this came from your channel or not, but welcome to my channel. And, I hope you have fun. We got my other soror, Tonette, in the building. I just wanted to shout some people out. So he said Team Android secure.
We are Team Android. Listen. Pixel 2 on deck. I have 2 phones, so Pixel as well on deck.
2 phones,
I do. So the setup, so behind the scenes, the setup yesterday, I spent 3 hours getting that footage for B-roll for those 2 700 V3s. And so I had 2 tripods set up. One tripod had the phone to capture the B-roll footage, and then the on foot. The other tripod was set up to capture the pictures. So the Pixel takes amazing pictures and great portrait shots. And then the Galaxy S10e is great for video in 4K.
That's what's up. What's up, Shade TV? Hi, Marissa. Thanks for coming through the channel. She also has a live, which is Shade Selects, and we just our schedules have not matched, but I'm trying to get Shade on Pop the Culture very, very soon. But yeah, Pixel, I have to check that out because I have, when I first started YouTube, I was using my iPhone 8 Plus. So I was also using a phone, and now I have the 12, but I just use it for pictures. I'm not the most savvy when it comes to these things. So when you shouted out like Think Media and all those other different channels, those are also channels that I look to do my camera settings or try to do my lighting. Girl, I've bought so many lights. My husband be looking at me like, another Amazon package for some lights, and I'm like, I'm trying to get like Talks with TJ.
Listen. I learned a trick too. Also, just upgrade your bulb. So get LED, get LED HD bulbs, and that actually stopped me from buying a brand new panel light because it was actually just cheaper for me to buy the bulbs. But yeah, it becomes a lot. I've thought about so many times, like, do I just jump in and get a DSLR? And I'm just like, there's so much that goes into it versus me just being able to whip a phone out, and I can edit. I edit on my phone as well. So I can capture everything. If I want to go hang out with friends or something and kick it at their house while we're sitting there chilling, watching a movie, watching the game, I can edit, while I'm on the go. So I appreciate that.
That makes sense. So for everybody in the building, if you have not hit that like button, please make sure to hit that like button. It does help out this channel to get Pop the Culture out there. We love everybody. I love to have new people come in. Let's shift gears a little bit and talk about some of the past sneaker releases, because I don't know your life, obviously, but I know that you used to either work at Kids Foot Locker or get some sneakers from Kids Foot Locker. So I know that you sometimes, okay, I was like, I don't know your life. I don't know TJ.
No, you're fine. Yeah, no. So I simply stepped down as an assistant manager because I got a promotion in my actual career. That it just, the only logical sense was for me to not have to spend more of my time outside of my home. And so I still work, but I am the most spoiled person. I work 11 till 3 on Saturdays. That's it.
I love that.
I only work release Saturdays, and that's it. And
that's
I'm out.
Crazy. So with that, I know that you likely do see a lot of pairs. You touch a lot of pairs. You're not always going for them, but I did notice that you did pick up the Jordan 6 Gold Hoops, which are actually, according to what I saw, was like a little alley-oop from somebody else. So I just want to talk about these really quickly because I kind of felt like, I don't want to say people necessarily slept on them, but I think they kind of came real fast and then they left real fast. Like there was a picture one day and the next day they were out, and I was like, I was not prepared for this. So I wasn't able to grab a pair because I didn't have it in the budget. 2, I just felt like it just popped out of nowhere. But can you talk a little bit about like the quality of that sneaker, what you really like in the details? Because it seemed like there's a lot of details on that sneaker.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll do my best to do live, make sure you guys can take a look. But in terms of the leather, so shout out to, I'm trying to get all the names right. Kim, Sophia, I believe, I want to say Coco is the next name. So those are the 3 women that head up a lot of the women's releases. And when I tell you, like, the quality on the leather is insane. And it's funny because, I have this pair. I touched a lot of Air Jordan 4 Tech Grays, and this blew that out of the water without question.
Wow.
So it was just the actual quality of the leather itself. We didn't, I'm not dealing with the glue stains or the lack of quality control. But then I think they were very specific in how they decided to tweak this, because so many times we tell Jordan Brand, hey, we want something new, but don't do too much, don't tweak it too much. And for some, they still went a little far than some would like, right? Because you do have the gold hoops that are on the front. Now you can opt to remove those. Just understand the shroud doesn't have the Jumpman there. So you will just have a barely rose front panel, and that's it. I was okay with this. I felt like they gave the women a Jordan 6 that is still very true to Tinker's design, but it still lets you know, hey, I'm a woman. I still have a feminine side. And that's what I really appreciated about this pair. They went a little extra too in terms of the sock liner. So it is a ribbed design, a very nice, like, silkier nylon material on the interior. And then let me see if I can get the box.
Come through special box.
Right. Listen, I felt special. I felt special.
Oh, that's nice.
Normally it's just that black GS box. So it was a really, really nice box. And this is one of those ones where I'm like, I don't even know if I want to take it out and put it on display behind here, because it actually has a really nice box that I want to keep it in. But I feel like the women did a beautiful job executing. Now, I do think it kind of came and went. There was still a lot of talk around the Tech Gray, and women's releases can get lost amongst all of the other GRs. I think that may have happened. Ladies, if you're able to go back, if it's still reasonably priced, I haven't checked the secondary market. If it's still reasonably priced, because we had to pay a men's price, so that was the caveat. You get a great pair at $190. And you know what? Men always say, well, if you guys had to pay what we pay, you would think differently about releases. And I'm like, no, if we got the quality you guys get a lot of times, we wouldn't complain about having to pay the premium price. I didn't have an issue with the 190. So I was blessed. Somebody so Sneaker Fetish, shout out to the homie, because he actually put out the call on Twitter. Another amazing creator. He goes, hey, anybody, got a link, or anybody know where she can get a size 7.5? And someone sent me the deadstock link from Canada. And they were like, go now. When I tell you the smoothest process, which, come to find out, I guess they usually get botted heavily or they sell out really quick. I don't know. Maybe I was just really blessed with this drop, because it wasn't a problem for me. Got in, got out, and they delivered from Canada in like 2 days, like straight up 2 days. It was an amazing experience. So I think this will, to me, this is, I don't know that we can consider it a GR, clearly, because it was only in women's sizing, but it's one of my favorite pickups all year, and that is greatly based on the quality of it.
Oh, now I got to fit it in my budget to do a reach back. Wow. See what you do.
And it's funny because most people didn't even know. Like, I had high hopes for this shoe. I went and got the nails done with, like, barely rose pink. Most people didn't even catch on. Like, I was really, really hoping
it's the details
to secure this pair. And then when I did, I hit up the Jordan Brand designers immediately. And I'm like, I got my pair. Yes. And then when it came in and I opened the box, and I'm like, oh, you ladies did an amazing job.
You did that. Right. It's the details for me. Yes. Okay. So the other sneaker that I wanted to talk about, and I'm sorry because I'm like trying to find my mouse on these two screens, is actually the laser orange dunk. So the reason why I wanted to talk about this is I actually did a giveaway with two amazing, I would say content creators. They're more on Instagram, but they also do have Black-owned businesses. Mm-hmm. So Let Tay Tell It or Let Tay Create It, and then Sneaker Dream. So we basically teamed up together. It was a way for me to give back. I hit 2K on Instagram and on YouTube within like the same month. So I'm like, how can I, give back? It was a ladies only giveaway, and we did pick that person today. So I was not able to actually touch this pair for myself, nor did I even go for them, because for some reason, Sneakers does not give me W's on dunks, and neither does a Flex app. So I did not go for these sneakers at all. But I wanted to talk about them because I do know that J-Bo, actually, one of my homegirls, J-Bo, I think she watches your videos as well.
Yeah, she's an amazing supporter.
Yeah, I love her. So she actually hit on a pair and she sent me a picture of them. And like for once, the quality was A1. There were hardly any quality control. Very great pair. But when I tell you, when we looked at the resale market on this sneaker, it was like over $300. And I'm trying to figure out, why are these dunks so expensive?
Why is any dunk? I would listen, and people didn't, and I don't have my lows here. I only have my highs behind me. My lows are still out in the other room. So, you know, I was blessed enough to partner with C&K Daily and Nike to unbox these ahead of the release. And this was part of the original Be True pack. And then of course we have the lows that came out. And people were not paying attention in the video because I said, if we're talking resale, I understand paying the $400 for this for resale. Do not take your hard-earned money and pay that for any of these dunk lows. They're not worth it. They are thrown together. They're like plastic. They're just okay. So like I have the Samba here. Okay, it's good. Decent. It's cool, but listen, would not sit here and pay crazy resale for this just because like there are some pairs that are really like plastic. Like the UNLV is really like plastic. Ugh. So the for what they're giving us, I mean, first off, they're pumping them out like it's nothing. And it's $100 sneaker retail, and people, you know, it's making people insane amounts. No. I don't care if it's a women's, if it's exclusive. It's not like we're talking about a Nike SB dunk. Nike SB dunk, the quality is there, the comfort is there. I understand paying a little bit more on the market, but not for these that are coming out. No, and listen, I didn't even waste my time on this. I knew what it would have been anyway. It would have been an L. Right.
Yeah, I was not lucky, but I was able to bless Sneaker love her. These Instagram names with a pair. So it's like trying to get that together. But yeah, it was a great giveaway, and I'm glad that it was a quality pair for once, because a lot, like you said, a lot of the lows specifically are just plastic. They're kind of, I'm not gonna say the T word, trash. They're lack like for the $100, and this is the thing, for the $100 you spend. They're okay. If you can hit for retail, you're getting you're $100. You're good to go. It's once you're asking me to pay $300 for this shoe, and I'm like, no, there are shoes that are truly worth that, and I might be willing to pay that. These dunks are not it, though. Not the lows, at least. Maybe the highs, not the lows. Right. I agree. So we'll move on to the next one, which was the neon yellow and magenta Huarache. I actually don't have that pair, but I did do a reach back and get the Scream greens. Nice. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this sneaker, because the Huarache for me was, I won't say a sneaker growing up, but it was a sneaker in college that was a go-to for me. So I always had all the different colorways. I never had the OG, but I just love Huaraches. And I know a lot of people kind of say that, you know, Huarache is like dead, or kind of like when they say the foam posit, like nobody wears foam posits. And, you know, I think the biggest thing, one of the reasons why I like your channel is you rock what you like. You buy what you like. You spend your money on what you like, no matter what people say is in, or, you know, a brick and things of that nature. So I just wanted to see if you've ever had any Huaraches in your collection, or, you know, is it just a sneaker that you?
So it's funny. So because I follow, I'm Simply B is big on Huaraches. Oh yeah, big on Huaraches. CO Now 23, if you guys know him, he is the Air Max King. But he also went back. He got the Scream Greens, and I think he might have picked up one of the collabs as well that recently came out. So I had Huaraches in my collection, and they only recently were sold and then gifted over the last year. Not because I didn't think they looked good. They just never got worked into rotation anymore. And I picked up one. So I don't know if you remember when you could do the Nike, it was Nike ID back then. And those fleece packs came out, like the Tech fleece packs came out for the Huarache. So someone actually ID'd a Tech fleece pack pair. Nice. I had them in gray and black, picked them up, loved them. But because they really are a fleece sneaker, it's like something you can only wear in the fall and in the winter. So you wouldn't touch it anytime spring or summer hit. And I'm like, you know what? Let me get rid of this. And I think I sold it for like a bargain price, like right back on eBay or Poshmark. And then I'm a business owner. I worked with creating content for them on Donuts and Deadlifts. she loved them. I think I styled them in like a grid for them, and she loved them. And I'm like, what size are you? She's like, oh, women's 7.5. And I was like, bet if you pay me shipping, I'll send them to you. And she thought I was joking. And I'm like, no, really, cash at me $15 and I'll send them to you. So I had Huaraches. And that pair was the ultra. It was the ultra pair that was fly knit and mesh, so it was just, or not fly knit, but it was mesh, so it was just really really lightweight and comfortable. Triple wide. She's in Cali, so it's perfect for her out there.
Right.
So I love them. I think, you know, we all remember the hug your foot. Have you hugged your foot today?
Yeah.
That campaign, it would still be relevant today for that shoe. So I appreciate the Huarache. It's worn a lot by women in the gym. I see it worn a lot. Like, I think it's a really good, you know, cross training shoe. It doesn't have too much cushion that where you can't do some light leg work in it. I just personally wouldn't do heavy leg work. But no, listen, rock them OGs.
I love them. Yeah, and I actually will probably do a reach back. You know, they're a type of sneaker that I'm grateful that they don't necessarily always sell out, or they're affordable on the secondary market. So it's a sneaker that I feel like I can just run out and get whenever I have it built into my rotation of pickups. Oh, yeah. So super excited about that. And then the last one we'll talk about in terms of release recap is the Racer Blue 3. So there was a lot going on with that. I respectfully just passed on those because one, I don't really wear threes, but two, people's getting really in their feelings over this print. And I'm like, either you like the shoe or you don't like the shoe, keep it moving. It's 5 other shoes coming out tomorrow.
There's so many shoes coming out.
Listen.
So and it's funny because I took massive breaks from Twitter and I wasn't really active on there. And then I just dove right on back into the fray over this last year. And I forgot what sneaker Twitter is like on release Saturdays. I'm good. And so of course, it's a Saturday release. I'm in the store. And I'm opening the box. So that's the first thing that happens, because most of our shipments, when they come in Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm not anywhere present in the store. So I'm seeing the shoe for the first time on release day when I go in, and I open the box, and I'm just like, I'd already known it wasn't for me, but then seeing a grade school pair in hand, I was like, solidified. Definitely not for me. Not that I think it's a terrible sneaker. I've seen way worse. Not that I think it's that god awful of a sneaker. It just wasn't for me. And that's okay. Like, I need all of us to get to this collective space where everything does not have to be for everyone, right? For somebody to like something, somebody else has to dislike it. That is the natural balance of life, right? We got to have yin and a yang. And people want like thorough explanations. They want like a dissertation of why you don't like a sneaker. And I'm like, because I don't. That's it. Like really, like no is a complete sentence. I don't like it is also just a complete sentence to use for a shoe. That's it. Now, once I posted the picture, so as soon as it's a release day, so it's fine for us to, we can take shoes out of the box, put them up on the counter, let the customer see them as they're coming in and picking up their pairs. And I post the picture on Twitter, and I'm like, what y'all thinking? I would hold out for the True Blue. I'm like, but what are people's thoughts?
Right.
Then Twitter sounded off. They said it went from elephant print to gravel print. Somebody said, I don't know who needs to be fired at Jordan Brand. And I'm like, listen, it's people don't need to lose their job over the Racer Blue 3, because in truth, it's not that different from the Fire Red 3. So it's not like that different. Yes, the elephant print is, iconic, and let me not fall here, but
please don't. Not on the live.
Not on live, right? Not on live. So, yes, I get it. Like, everybody adores this print. I understand, right? We all remember him dunking, and that one's up there, but I'm not reaching all the way up there to get that. So we all know that the elephant print itself is very special for a lot of people, but I didn't know it was that sacrilegious for a lot of people, where they were going to take it as a personal attack, like on themselves. And I'm just like, don't buy the shoe. It's that's it. Like, a customer truly came in. We're sitting there at the counter. They come in, and what happens? They tell us their name. We go get the shoe, because every shoe, at least for us, is tagged with the customer name, their email, the size. We go get the box, bring it out. We open it so everybody can see their pair before they buy it. Right. He said, no, I love them good. He just like did an about face and walked back out. And I was like, oh, so y'all like really got that kind of energy for this shoe. which was fine. Like, I didn't take
Right.
it personal. You know, of course, I didn't
Yeah.
design the shoe, so he didn't want it. But just like he didn't want it, we had tons of people coming in picking them up. I will say this: the baby sizes were cute as hell. Like,
Oh,
toddler sizes were so adorable. But yeah, people took it personally. Like, and the common phrase I hear is, "Well, it's their loss." Okay, but like, if they don't hold the same value of a shoe that you do, how is it
right.
their loss? It would be their
Right.
loss to spend money on something they don't want. So I just think people have to think a little bit more logically, you know, when it comes to drops. We all don't have to like something, but them feelings were heavy this weekend.
Well, and I guess, you know, since people do have a lot of brand loyalty to Nike and or the Jordan brand, they think that every single sneaker that comes out, one, they have to have, and then two, you know, they have to like. You know, I just feel like that's the type of energy that people have, and that reminds me of the Red Flint, right? So, oh my God, why would they do the OG like that? And I'm like, just don't buy the sneaker. I thought it was nice. I like red.
You have people in your comments going to war with you.
I was like, I'm no one. I just let me live.
People
okay,
going to war with you. Like, how dare you ask somebody, do you like red or blue better? That's
it's not like I'm saying blood or cuz. Like, you know, I'm just asking.
I didn't ask you to go against your set. We didn't ask none of that. Not telling you to throw up no fingers. Not trying to expose nobody. I'm just saying, do you like a red shoe or a blue shoe? And that was really the only difference. Like, to me, that was one of the best executed pairs with just a minor twist. Because we always tell Jordan Brand, can you just do this and not change this? That's what they did. They gave you that Flint through and through. All they did was change the blue to the red. And I was super appreciative of it because it's still one of my favorite pickups. And it still might go down as like the best GR, because to me it's better than the Tech Grade 4. Like, I'm just being honest, it's better than the Tech Grade 4. But you had massive, those comments. I didn't really believe you until I took a look, and I was like,
I was like, TJ, look what they doing over here. They clowning.
People do have that mentality. Oh, if it's a new release, you should have it. Now, I don't know if they think that about us because we create content around sneakers.
Yeah.
So they think, oh, well, it's a new sneaker, you should just have it.
Right.
And I'm like, this is coming out of my own personal pocket, right? So what makes you think I'm just buying every single shoe that comes out? Again, I'm not QVC. There are channels for that. They buy every Jordan, every Nike, every Adidas, every Yeezy, every New Balance, everything. That's cool. Those channels, I promise you, they got it on drop day. I probably won't have it on drop day.
And I will say some of those channels, I don't want to say they're gifted pairs, but they may be given a pair to show on their channel, things like that. So
some are gifted, some can have a hookup where they get a shoe, but they are it's not necessarily their personal pair, right? Correct. You can almost gather that half the time if the shoe is never put on. It possibly is not theirs, or they're just holding on to it because they could want to sell it in the future, which again, their shoe, their choice of what they want to do.
Right.
Every shoe you see me buy, that's why I don't have dead stock shoes. People are like, how many pairs are dead stock? 2, and they're double ups. And that's the only reason they're dead stock. Every shoe that I get within like close to 24 hours, it's thrown on foot. So I don't have any dead stock pairs. Now, some creators are blessed enough where they're still paying for the shoe. It's just they're granted access at retail, which is a blessing in itself too. That's kind of how it is with me. Kids Foot Locker, our location doesn't get everything, but for the pairs we get in, if I really want it, I can probably get it and at a discount. So that is a nice blessing.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wish I could squeeze into a 7.5. Awesome. Well, I want to talk a little bit about this whole phrase, at your age, not your shoe size. So for anybody who does not watch Talks with TJ, there has been quite some iconic videos of her saying at your age, not your shoe size, and in different situations, that she's had to, bring light to. So I want to hear from you, or can you share how this catchphrase came about, as well as this collaboration? So I don't know if you all can see, but I am rocking At Your Age, Not Your Shoe Size, which was a collaboration with a fresh culture that is in the comment section.
You know what? I'll grab the crew neck too.
Yeah.
So this one, it's funny. This was technically like the friends and family colorway, but a lot of people liked it a lot.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
It was so difficult to get in. Okay, people like COVID was this a struggle. It became a struggle truly to get in. But it's funny. You want to know how that came about. So technically he's in here. Right.
Uh-oh.
So why I adopted that. So it's a line from a Prince song. He just says it like slightly differently. Because I think he says like ma on the end or something. Actor age, not your shoe size, ma. But I was just talking about the immaturity of people within this space, whether it's just sneakers in general, whether it's Instagram, whether it's YouTube especially, and we are all adults in here. Like, don't be fooled. Most of the people that are in sneaker YouTube that you're viewing, they're like 25 and older. A lot of them are married. A lot of them have kids. So keep that in mind. Based on behavior, they're bringing up young lives into this world that we're all going to have to deal with one day. And just the behavior was just not only asinine, but just like, why? Like, why are you behaving this way? And I remember one day in the chat, Wolf goes, just act your age, not your shoe size. And I'm like, you know what? That's it. That's it. That's the one. That part there, from that day forward, it's been the outro for every single video. And I didn't dive into merch as soon as a lot of people I'm not even gonna lie. Part of it was I needed to make sure there was like a strong following there just in case. So I'm like, we'll wait till we hit like a larger number just for safety security reasons for my own self and ego. No shame there. And it's interesting. So a Fresh Culture had reached out to possibly do a collab, and I remember I was scrolling. And he had the white t-shirt with black print and just the red tag there. And I don't know why it just stood out to me so much. And I'm like, I would love to have a shirt like that. But I also didn't want it to center just around myself. Like, I wanted people to be able to wear this shirt out, and someone that doesn't watch YouTube, which means they would not know who I am whatsoever, could still appreciate the shirt. But it's still linked back to me. And I'm like, man, act your age, not your shoe size. I'm pretty sure a lot of people go through their day-to-day life and they think that about their family, friends, coworkers, random strangers, when they're at restaurants. Like, we think this. I have a lot of patience for children. I don't for adults. I have tons for children. I have zero patience for adults. I really don't. I will sit there and talk a child through all of their behavior. I can't do that with an adult. Like, I'm not paid as a therapist, so I need you to go deal with your trauma and then like come back and just act your true age. So I got with the Fresh Culture. I'm like, listen, sir, we got to make this happen. And he's been such a gem and friend to work with. So yes, we are working on second drop. I wanted to wait until I hit 22K because 22 is my number still from high school. So it's a special number. We are working on that. So we're going to do shirts a little differently this time. It'll be more like the streetwear shirts. So if you see like the vintage, heavier weight, like 6.5 weight, vintage style t-shirts, we're actually going to do that. And then I'll probably wear mine oversized like I normally do, but I think it'll be a great look with biker shorts for women, cargo pants, denim, sweats, doesn't matter. So we're working on it. I promise. We're going to do very different colors this time. One, I think the ladies will appreciate based on a special drop. So just stay tuned for that. But yeah, so and everybody says I need to get a Hunger Kick shirt now.
Yeah, that would be dope.
Because it really is real. Like, and I didn't watch Hunger Games the other day. I watched a lot of commentary channels on YouTube, and they were breaking down the Hunger Games, the first movie. And I'm like, man, no, it's really as savage as that in sneakers. Like, you really got people trying to take you out from jump, aka these bots. You got people hitting you over the head, aka these resellers. So it's true Hunger Kicks out here. Like, may the sneaker guys be ever in your favor.
Listen.
But yeah, 2 colorways, people. We're gonna have 2 colorways.
That's awesome. Well, I really appreciated the collaboration. I thought that it was very tastefully done. I didn't feel personally, as a consumer of the shirt that, you just never know what you're buying and who you're buying and what they represent. And I think that there have been instances where I've purchased something and then I no longer feel a sense of attachment to that that person and what they're about and things of that nature. So I'm like, I'm probably not going to ever wear this again, but I feel comfortable and confident that I can wear this out. And, you know, if someone asks me about this shirt, I'll be able to just talk your page up, talk a fresh culture up as much as I can.
I'm not going to embarrass y'all, I promise.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna have y'all out here like, oh yeah, sure. This is this is the shirt I chose to wear today. No, and it's funny, sneaker vibes only. It's funny. Those are the hearts that were chosen. Just keep those in mind.
She knows. If you know, you know. That's what's up. So I wanted to ask you another question, and this is really about, again, going back to your sneaker collection as well as your style. So again, I consider myself part of the Two Shoes crew. So I've been here long enough to know that, you know, your style is evolved as well, or somewhat unique. So right now you're kind of into the what do you call these tones? Like these grays, these oatmeals, these olives, and then
I just look, they're all neutrals, like anything neutral. I think one day I sent you like a neutral palette. I sent you a neutral palette because I was scrolling on Pinterest one day, which, listen, Pinterest is great. I mean, you might get lost in it, but it is great for a lot of inspiration for fashion stuff. And I was scrolling and it just had all these different shades and tones. And I'm like, this is it. This right here. I could pick my whole closet just based on this right here. And I remember I sent it to you and you were like, oh, this makes so much sense now.
This makes so much sense.
Yeah, it's just nothing but neutrals. Like most people don't know, olive green usually gets roped into being a neutral colorway as well.
Yeah. So what would you say, like, with your sneaker collection, kind of the new and the old, as well as your style right now, how would you say this all works together? Because, for example, you know, you have some reds and some blues and some other colors that are neutral, but you still rock all your sneakers. So it's like, tell me how that all works together in the present day right now.
With a lot of my sneakers, I will sometimes try to pick either a color to match, accent, or complement, and using a color wheel is really like opens the world to you, because there are a lot of things you may not think to pair together. Like a lot of times most people won't go for orange and blue. They may only associate it with, you know, bright sports teams colors, but depending on how saturated of a blue it is, how muted of an orange it is, or how electric of an orange it could be, it can change a lot. So a lot of my outfits will start nowadays with green pants. And I swap in the green, like, you know, how people would just put black denim or black pants or regular denim or blue jeans. I think putting the green in there just adds something special to it. You don't realize how much goes with green until you give it a try. So there's your gem for the day. Just go ahead, throw some green pants into it. But then I'll try and have something neutral there too. So the pants are sometimes just that neutral piece, but then I'll decide if I want to add a pop of color or just keep it more all muted. And you can play around with the muted tones, which I think allows the sneaker to speak for itself, but not in a boring way. Like some people will just wear all black and let the sneaker speak for itself. And I'm like, you could put cream and a darker gray or like a moss colorway, which is one of my favorites from Fear of God. You can do a moss colorway and you can play around with, you know, cement or taupe or then black or then gray. So I'll look at a color wheel too, like Fly with Johnny Ty is an amazing fashion channel. Amazing fashion channel that has really opened my eyes to trying out different things. So it's probably a bit of neutral streetwear with athleisure thrown in there, because I'll still have jerseys, a lot of sports team apparel, and then a lot of the Supreme shirts and stuff I get from Best Laces Out, which is a Black-owned boutique I work with down in North Carolina. They'll supply me with a lot of Supreme shirts, and those aren't always neutral. Sometimes they're bright yellow, bright green, bright red, bright orange, and I'll still incorporate that, but just make sure the pants are neutral sometimes.
And you said essentials, and I'm thinking, when is the last time I took a manual W on essentials? Because it has been a minute.
That is so Jerry and Kanye got that earth tone thing like that. Sometimes I can't tell. Yeah, so listen, there's a running joke on all of the Fear of God pages, right? If you guys know the meme where the girl's like sitting there and her eyes are like squinting down and she's trying to figure out, she's trying to see something down the street, but that's all of us trying to figure out what color something is by Jerry, because it is like, and I guess this is kind of the joke I always make when it comes to 350 V2s. So I don't know why people haven't chosen to tease me about this, but I always joke that Kanye will just take a shoe, look at a color, he'll just up or take the saturation down, and then he'll drop it as like a new color with some biblical name that half the people can't pronounce. Half of them cannot pronounce. Like somebody said Azareth, and I was like, you know, there's an R in there, right? That's the same thing with Jerry and these tones. But you know what? This is where I have to just humble myself, because all these tones that I wear all go with Yeezy.
Yeah, they do, and we gonna get into that.
I have to be quiet now at this point. But DB Kicks knows, man. Essentials has been rough, and I think it's been rough because, you know, when something catches hype, it's not always like celebrities that make it hype anymore. Like for kicks, a lot of kicks will gain hype or be way overhyped, like if Travis Scott wears them or Kylie Jenner or somebody wears them. If you look on TikTok, I don't know what it was. All the kids one day just started to drink the Kool-Aid of Essentials. And then they all just flocked to it. And then they realized there was money to be made. Like resale wasn't ever crazy for Essentials, but it's skyrocketed over the last year. And then when the knit pieces came out, because those were so new for Jerry, those were, you know, were going for a lot too. So I think some people feel like it's almost oversaturated right now. I know that was the answer for a poll that I saw today. Is it saturated? I think a little bit it can be. I think it'll die out where the people that were just here because it was the hot thing, whatever the new hot thing is, I think they'll move to that. Once it's no longer hot to have Essentials plastered on the front or on the back, I think they'll go do something else. I'll still be here, so I'll be excited because I'll still be able to buy everything I want. But yeah, trying to get a manual cop, PacSun is so disrespectful.
Yes, they are.
Like so disrespectful.
Yeah, and I think that kind of segues into my next topic, which is the PacSun Reserve. So you mentioned, you know, that the market is saturated. People found that there's money in, you know, getting these essentials and reselling them, which PacSun, Essence, and a couple of other places do usually drop when the collections come out. And PacSun, according to what I saw, is kind of treading the waters on some of the reselling of sneakers. And from when I saw a lot of hype sneakers, you know, things that's like, this really shouldn't be $400, but I guess. So I wanted to talk a little bit about that and what your thoughts are, because personally for me, what I'm most afraid of, and I don't know if they would do this, but you know, what if they did get essentials and then they put that on there and started reselling it? So now you're no longer have a chance of getting a manual W for retail. You have to go through them and get essentials. I know that probably would never happen, but like, what if?
So when I first saw it, I think it was on Twitter when I saw it, because that's actually where a lot of news ends up breaking, is really on Twitter. I really just, in the back of my mind, it was the whole Joker scene of here we go, of like more madness, more BS related to shoes. The fact that we are entrusting PacSun, and if they ever see this live, I can probably kiss a brand deal goodbye. But the fact that we are entrusting PacSun, we can't trust you with t-shirts and shorts. So why are we entrusting you with like $5,000 to $1,000 sneakers? Not to mention, PacSun is known for having to cancel orders because I don't know if inventory is not counted correctly, but they'll oversell a lot of their essential stuff. And so then people are getting these, oh, well, they get chargebacks. You don't have to worry about it. Like, oh, your money's refunded because we can't fulfill your order. Just imagine if you've done that with, like, you paid money, you think you got a shoe, and then you really didn't, and they give you the money back. I don't see this working out well. I'm not saying people can't diversify. I'm not saying brands can't diversify, but stay in your lane. Like, do what you do well.
Please.
I don't think this is what they're going to do well. Stay in your lane. I don't think they can resell essentials. I would have to imagine their contract with Jerry is not set up that way. Like, I think their contract is set up. They have to sell a certain way. Now, I think in clothing maybe is a little bit different with everybody because their prices are never what everyone else's is. Like in clothing, they will jack something up a good $50, $70. So I don't know. In clothing may be that exception. I just don't see PacSun being able to resell essentials and have the retail, there, just because like look at StockX. StockX doesn't have a contract with Jerry to put stuff up there for MSRP. They can absolutely have people resell it, but they don't have a contract to do, just regular retail sales. Yeah. So I don't see it going well. I don't.
Right. And I also think I'm not the sharpest tool in the toolbox, but it doesn't really align with their business model to me. Like PacSun is, I just don't see them being or see them as a place to go and get resold sneakers. Like I just want clothes. Why?
Yes. Vans, yes. Chucks, yes. Like skater type shoes that aren't SBs, yeah. I that's what I think of, because PacSun is still that California vibe, but also they dabble in the retro stuff. Like they can get Mitchell and Nesson, which I think is cool because I can go there sometimes and get it. But this is not it. This is not the wave. This is not the move. And everybody, it just seems like this is the hot thing to do. Like everybody is seeing StockX make money. They're seeing GOAT make money. And so they think they can, I want to be a player. I want a piece of this pie too, but everything is not for everybody.
Right. That makes sense. So we have a couple of more questions as well as about 2 topics, and hopefully you're ready for a little show and tell, because I like to show off some of my sneakers and things of that nature. But yeah, I wanted to go back a little bit because this is primarily a sneaker channel, and talk about, when you fell in love with sneakers. I know the answer to this because, again, I'm part of the Two Swoosh crew. But for people who don't know, really kind of speak to, when you fell in love with sneakers, and, maybe a sneaker that really kind of just made you a sneakerhead. I know that's like a question that you probably get a lot.
No, you know what? It's the main question, so it's cool because it's always easy to answer. So I was that little girl. I forget. It might have been like my 5th or 6th birthday party. My mom tried to put me in a dress, some dress shoes on, and when they say it's your party, you can cry if you want to. I cried until that woman let me put on a 2-piece sweatsuit and some sneakers, and then I was the happiest kid ever. So I've always been that girl that wanted to be in sneakers. So if you invite me to an event now, even at 31, if you're going to tell me I can't wear sneakers, don't invite me. I don't care what kind of event it is. I'll show up in a dress and some 6s. I've already shown it on my channel. Yes. So I've always been that girl. And so growing up, I was always into sports. I mean, to the point I went to a football camp. I went to Jamie Brooks's football camp, and he was a Lions player at that time. And I remember I really just looked up to Crystal Young. She was a friend of the family, pretty much like a family member to me almost. And she was decked out. I mean, every Jordan you could think of, because she was the 4.0 student. She was ranked 5th in the state for basketball. So like she could do no wrong. She was that epitome of a great student athlete. And so mom, grandma, uncles, everybody spoiled her with every new drop that came out. And we were the same size. So when I would go hang out and we would go places, she would let me wear her shoes. And so that was special, right? Like that's real love. That was special in itself. And then one day I go and she has this.
Ooh.
And when I saw this, I'm just like, I don't know the name. I don't know, anything else about it. But I went home. I'm like, Mom, let me tell you what I need. She looked at me like I had lost my mind. I'm like, no, you don't understand, Ma. Like it was shiny and everything. She's like, that's not happening. I'm like, bet. Okay, we gonna find a way to make this happen. So the Concord 11 like took my breath away. And it was at that point I started to really like appreciate my shoes. And it was like straight up every Saturday morning, I'm cleaning them, keeping them neat, keeping them clean. I was only getting a few pairs a year anyway. Like even as an only child, my mom was like, listen, back to school, Christmas, basketball season, track season. That's it. That's all you get. And so once it went into that territory, if it was hot and I wanted it, I had to make that difficult choice. And so it was either like, Mom, I really want this Jordan, or I was really into Iversons back then too. Because Mom, I want this Jordan, or Mom, the answer came out. It was the 4, it was the 5, it was the question. So it was always sports that drew me into it and also kept me there. So it was me watching all the Nike commercials and swearing up and down I could do everything that they were doing, praying I didn't like break something in my mom's house trying to dribble a ball in there. But it's always gone to sports, and it's still there for me. So I do think it's a little bit weird now where people like we've gotten away from sneakers being about sport at all. For a lot of people, it's just about the looks. It's just about the hype. Some don't even watch basketball like that anymore, which is really interesting to me. Like they can't tell you anything about like the current landscape of the NBA, but they can tell you every year that's come out.
Right, yeah, that would be me probably because I have not watched basketball since NCAA. When I actually went to the University of Kansas, so I was there. And, Mario Chalmers hit the little shot, got us to the Final Four, and that's about all I remember. After that, I can't tell you nothing. I can't tell you nothing.
Right now, everybody knows I am. I'm riding with Team Suns all the way through this finals. So out of all the players in the NBA. Of course, it's Clay, it's Steph, and then, Booker's been one of my favorite players since he actually came off the bench for UK. Now, UK is not my team, but I don't know what it was. I would watch just a lot of the big marquee games, and I would always say, like, man, that young kid is so great, and he's coming off the bench, but he had so many talented, draft picks that he played with that started. I understood why he was the sixth man, but you look at him coming to his own now, and then just the love, the respect, the connection with Kobe is there. So I'm riding with Booker all the way through this finals. I need CP3 also to get this ring. That man has dedicated. Can you imagine being with somebody 16 years and you didn't get a ring? That's essentially what this man has done.
Yeah.
He's committed 16 years. The league has not given him a ring. So, I'm definitely tapped in for the NBA too, which makes for some very tiring nights right now.
Right. And what I was going to say before I forget, and we go to the next segue to the next topic, I also think being able to get sneakers obviously has changed a lot. We're kind of around the same age, and, being younger, you could, if you really wanted that Concord or you really wanted an Adidas shell toe because you saw Run DMC rocking them, chances are your parents could take you to the store and you can get it. Like, I just remember going to places like Shoe Carnival, for example, and literally can go in there, find my size, try it on, make sure it fits, and then my dad will walk to the counter and pay for it. You cannot do that anymore. So what are these parents doing now for these 13, 14-year-olds that really, really want to secure a sneaker? And some parents don't know how to work the sneakers app. So I'm like, what?
Let me tell you. So, and I to go back to your original point, there were so many times I begged and I'm like, Mom, listen, like I'm not even going to ask for anything. Because my mom made it very clear. Okay. My mom was one of those ones. We're going to this store for X. Don't ask for nothing. Don't touch nothing. I'm only saying it once. And I already knew what the deal was, right? Like I already knew. Don't show out in this store and it ends your life that day. So I would just be like, Mom, listen, I don't want anything. I just want to go look. And you could go around to every store, right? Foot Locker, Foot Action, Champ, Shoe Carnival. You could go around to every store and see all the new drops and, spend time talking to all the employees because they knew about them. And you were praying they convinced your mom, and it just never, ever worked. Parents could go in, or you could tell your mom, I could sit the East Bay magazine down and be like, Mom, I got to have you pay close attention. The circled pair in my size. You see this right here? This is what I need before basketball season starts. You can't do that now. And I'll never forget, I had a young girl come in a few months ago with her mom. And when I tell you, like, she had tears streaming down her face. It was for the University Blue drop. So let me move MJ out of the way.
I barely even
so it was for this pair, right? And we all know, like, it was grown men, crying almost. It was grown men almost crying, not being able to get this. So she came in and she just had tears streaming down her face. And I'm talking to the mom. I'm like, what's going on? And she said, we just can't get her these shoes. She tried on sneakers. And I'm just like, child, listen, that was your first mistake. Like, that was the first mistake you made. And I get it, though, that, like, where else would a parent think to go? I mean, her mom had the know-how to go on sneakers app, but that was an L. Then she went across the hall to finish line, and, they're like, oh, well, we're raffle only. Nothing you can do. When she came to us, we got our shipment in late anyway. But then once we got it in later on, it was raffle only, and I'm having to explain. I'm like, it's a different game. Because the mom's like, I remember being able to walk in shoes, walk into stores or stand in line. I'm like, Mom, we are in different times now. You're going to take a lot of L's. And I go, this is a really good life lesson for her, though. This is what a lot of life is going to be like. It's going to be a lot of L's. It's going to be a lot of failed relationships, a lot of friendships you go in. Like, this is a real, like, sneakers is a good analogy for life. You are going to deal with some losses. You're going to have to weather them. A lot of things you want, you're not going to get. I told her mom too, though, based on, because I think they came from out of town trying to get them. So I told mom, I'm like, if you have like a Kids Foot Locker in your area, make sure that you are using the app for raffles, because a lot of people don't know that they could do that with Kids Foot Locker. And that's an easier way to maybe secure a pair. It's not guaranteed, of course, but it is an easier way to possibly secure a pair. But parents come in just dumbfounded. Like, they don't get it. Like, they come in, and I got grandparents with the grandkids sending them in the store with a phone, and they're like, I need this too. And like, they hold it up, and I'm like, you sent your grandma in here looking for Yeezy? Like, you thought that was okay to do? And I'm like, first off, we don't even get them in store. Our mom messed that up like a while ago. We don't even get them in store, or they'll come in and it's always a retro. It's always like the latest retro they try to get, and I'm just like, it's not happening.
But them grandparents be having their pocketbooks ready.
Parents are ill-equipped, or kids come in and they'll see a shoe that's sitting, but it's, you know, it's or maybe we only have one size left, and they're like, oh well, mom, it's only $400 on StockX. Oh. And I'm looking at this kid like, mom, if you hit him, I'm not gonna say a word. I'm gonna say I was in the back looking at boxes. Like, I'm not gonna say a thing. Like, what do you mean only? What job do you have, young child? What income do you provide? Do you bring to this conversation talking about it's only something? Your parent only is providing everything for you. You got shoes on your feet, clothes on your back. They're doing their job of what they're supposed to do. And kids are like, well, mom, I saw this shoe. And I'm like, did your kid tell you the truth of what that shoe costs? Well, no, he just said he wanted it. Okay, well, Jimmy lied to you, and it's $1,000 from the secondary market. And they're just, and I saw one mom was cursing her son out like all the way down the hall when she left. And I was like, I don't know what fight I started, but I'm just here to be honest. I got to sleep well at night. I'm just here to be honest. A lot of parents are just ill-equipped. Like, that's where the game is. They don't understand. It isn't a just walk in and get a shoe unless it's a shoe people don't care about. But even then, walking in to get Air Force Ones, we stay sold out of those.
Yeah.
And that's the hype right now. You know, I don't know if it's because of TikTok. I don't know what is going on with these children these days, but they all just want triple white Air Force One lows, and they come in and they really treat it like it is like an addictive drug or something. I don't understand it.
Are they still buying like two pair? Because like when I was in high school, that was really what we did. It's like we would get two pair, either the black and the white, or two white pair.
No, they just get one. So they come in, they just get one single pair. They just get one pair. And a lot of times when the parents come in, the parents are, you can see like the pained look on their face because they've gone to every store in every area within like a 50-mile radius, and they're tired of walking around. And so they're like, do you have this in a size? And we tell them yes. And they're like, oh, thank God, just go ring out. Just go ring out right now. They're like, just go ring out, because we've walked around all these stores and they're the only ones that have it. Or we'll have the parents come in and they'll say, oh, well, we'll just wait. And I'm like, you're really playing with fire right now, because we can get like a shipment in on Tuesday. By Saturday, it could be gone.
Yep.
It could be sold out, and we get tons of pairs in.
Yeah, a lot of people just reminiscing about them days when they had to ask their parents for shoes, and big boys stuffing them.
Listen, so I got frustrated one day, and I'm like, I'm over here trolling kids when they come in, and I'm like, you know, there's an Air Force One song, and they're like, oh my God, is it new? And I'm like, oh my God.
Oh man. I cannot.
That's really, I was like, Nelly would be so ashamed.
I was in high school in St. Louis when that song came out, so you already know how we was rocking.
You was with it. It was the anthem. Yeah. It was the anthem for everybody. Like, it was the anthem for all of us. And when that came out, I think that really started the two pair trend. If you weren't already on it, you were trying to explain to your parents, "No, I need two pair when school starts. I need two pair." And by the time you beat one of the pair up, hey Steph Kicks, by the time you beat one of the pairs up anyway, by like end of fall break or winter break, you did need another pair.
Right. That's why I was like, get the two pair. But anyway, we could talk all day about these things. But just want to be conscious of time. So we have about 15 more minutes left. I want to talk through this recent additions to your collection, which are not Nike brand or Jordan. So let's talk about this. So according to some videos, and I won't give everything away because you all need to go watch our videos, but according to the videos, you were gifted not one pair, not two pair, but like 7 pairs of the most coveted Yeezy styles. And I know you're in the middle of creating and doing some unboxings, but can you just talk about how we got here, what your general assessment of the brand is and the sneakers, and if you would consider buying any upcoming or doing reach backs for some of these pairs? So 350s, more slides, things like that.
Okay.
Because TJ didn't have no Yeezys.
I didn't have it. So that's how this all started. I'll share that because of course not everybody's on Twitter. I totally respect that. But that is the place that you guys should be. So we were on, if you don't know, I co-host a Twitter space. It's kind of like a podcast, and it's called The Kickback. It's held every Friday, either 8 o'clock or 8:15 on Twitter, Twitter Spaces. So literally, if you follow me _Talks.with.TJ, you'll see my little icon. I'll have like a little glow at the top when I'm hosting a Twitter space. It's myself. It's Sneaker Fetish, aka Kari, Jazzaray Allen Lord, one of the best strategists in the game for sneakers and just a champion for Black women. And then Shake, and most people don't know, Shake, which is funny because his DMs are blowing up after this happened. But Shake owns Clicks Kicks. He actually owns a few stores. And if you ever see his page, his hashtag, I believe it's like JMJ Forever. So Jam Master J, that was his mentor, best friend, really a light in his life. And so if you know Jam Master J, Adidas like this, like married together. And so we're on this podcast. We were talking about Kanye, and Kari goes, well, everybody has a pair of Yeezys now. And I said, speak for yourself. And he's like, well, oh, that's right. You don't have any. I was like, no, I don't have a pair. And at that moment, Shake just stopped the whole show. He's like, I'm sorry, you don't what? And I said, I don't have a pair. Not a single pair? And I'm like, no. He's like, bet, check your DM. And I'm just like, check my DM. Oh, okay. So no, not even kidding you. Within the hour of the show being done, he's like, I need your address and I need your size. So here's the funny part. I pay attention to other creators enough to know like sizing for Yeezys and everything. I had just never gone for them. And we'll talk about that why. So I'm like, okay, everybody says go half up a size, right? I watch Seth and Roscoe and everybody says go up half a size. And I'm like, okay, I remember your video. You had like your massive video about the sizing of Yeezys. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to go up half a size or a whole size. And I said, so is Shay going to send me a pair? And he's like, a pair? You think that's cute. You think this is a game. And I'm like, okay, 2 pairs? So then we did a poll. And I'm like, how many pairs do you all think I have coming? I think I only put the poll up to 6. So even that was wrong. It was a full 7 from this man. So I don't know what amazing. Well, no, I know. I've volunteered a lot of my time for a lot of just people that weren't worth it in life. So I feel like I have done my due diligence, guide. Okay. Right. So when you ask me on that day, what is going on? What have you done? I'm going to run you a list of volunteer service I've provided to people on this earth. Okay. But I'm just guessing that's the good karma that's come back around. But Shake is just an amazing supporter. Just really wants to see me win, loves the energy and the authenticity and value I bring to this. And you can only hope for that. But there's a lot that I'm able to learn from him as well, because he's on the other side of the industry behind the scenes that way. So 7 pairs. And when I tell you, they are like 7 crazy pairs. I mean, you guys saw the Bread 50 V2. I didn't think this would be a favorite of mine. I love that shoe. I didn't think this would be a favorite of mine, but I'm in love with this shoe.
Okay.
I didn't think I would like it. I was really skeptical about these, and because, they don't have boosts, so I'm just like, okay, is there still going to be all the hype, all the craze? No, this pair is so amazing. It might give the Bread 50 V2 a run for its money. So the kicker, of course, I just felt like I was like, thanks, Shake, for setting all my platforms on fire right now.
Right.
I lost my nickname. So if you watch my videos right now, I don't say Two Swoosh Crew or two Swoosh Chains. I have to say T Yeezy because I lost the rights to my name until I unbox all 7 pairs. And I've only made it through 4 so far. Have I made it through 4?
Slides, breads, and then those pair and the other pair.
I made it through 4. So okay. So
I'm trying to stay up on my content.
As y'all can see, I still got 3 more to go. And then I don't even listen. At this point, I don't even think I can drop the nickname because I have to admit, having the pairs, in hand, there is a different appreciation for them. I knew that they would be comfortable, but until I could see how they would really go with my style. And this is what I do. Like, I take a shoe when I first get it in. I start walking around my closet and just like putting it close to things to figure out, do I like it? Do I think this will go? Do I think this won't go? And once I did that, and I just started seeing all these fits, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna really like these. And so my rant tomorrow, which will be interesting, I'm sure somebody will get pissed off about it, but people have just put it in their mind that I said I've never worn Adidas, or that I'm anti-Adidas, or that like they think I have a vendetta against like Kanye or West, and I'm just like, what, like Wexler, I'm just like, what is the problem? Like, I've never said that. Like, I ran track in Adidas running shoes and spikes all through high school. And people don't know that. And I've said that countless times. When it comes to me buying, sneakers, it's already a struggle to try to get Jordans and Nike, and New Balance. So sometimes you don't want to take on another burden in your life of trying to get stuff. And then when Yeezys would drop, there's an opportunity cost for everything, right? I've already said, like, I have fun with spending my money, but there are still some parameters I have to work within. I can't go for everything. So a lot of times, if it came down to a Yeezy dropping and a Jordan or a Nike dropping, at that moment, aesthetically, the Nike or Jordan may have just mattered more. It may have been prioritized more. It wasn't that I didn't think Kanye was doing something brand new, different, or innovative, because the 350 V2 itself changed the game. Like, we remember the madness of 2015 to 2017. Everyone and their mom wanted Yeezys. That's all that mattered. Like, Nike and Jordan were kind of struggling at that point. Not that they didn't hold their own, but they had real competition. Like, Kanye revitalized Nike or Adidas in that way. And so I just didn't go for the pairs. But you would think that I like told people their children were ugly or something by not buying Adidas. Like, I don't know. So now that I have them, some people are like, when are we returning to Jordan content? And I'm like, when are y'all paying for these Jordans? Like, what is that?
People just do so much.
Like, when are you paying for said Jordans? Like, I am funding all of the pairs that you see. So when are we paying for them? Like, and I think also I'm finding that people are comfortable to box you into what they would want you to be. So I think like some people are just super comfortable with me only being Nike or Adidas or New Balance they're okay with, because they're not into Yeezys. And it's like, me just staying within one thing, that would never allow for growth. Now, I didn't choose it. I was thrown into it like head first. But I would be a total liar. It would be very unauthentic if I didn't tell you the truth. I tell you the things I don't like about the pairs. And then I tell you overall, hey, I really appreciate this pair, or hey, I really like this pair now. So for future drops, yes, the slides, I want the soot colorway, the UV yarn light that's coming out. I think that's a really different take on a 350 that V2 that we haven't seen. So I think that's really special. I would love to go back for like the white or the cream, but that price point is so disrespectful.
Astronomical.
It's just not happening. So I know the 350 V2 light is coming out. I guess based on how white it is will determine if I wanna try to get that or not. So yeah, for people that are like uncomfortable with seeing Yeezys on my channel, get more uncomfortable, because God willing, you're gonna see more on the channel. Because listen, I wouldn't be surprised if if I try my best, to either like going through Shake or having people go for me for other pairs. Because I know some say Yeezys are a little bit easier to get than Jordans. I still see a lot of people complaining though on drop day. So we'll see what happens. But I like the diversity. I'm embracing it.
Yeah, and
I
I
was
think that
waterboarded with Yeezys. No, that's bad.
that's
Straight up,
hilarious.
like the box was bigger than me. That's an honest to goodness truth.
Yeah, and I really appreciate what you said about, kind of just, I think that again, going back to this whole content creation thing, like it's almost a missed opportunity for you to not even explore that and share it with your viewers, So, you're not saying that like, oh, now I'm only going to have Yeezys on my channels. The reality is you're diversifying your channel. And again, you're bringing your true authentic self to say, hey, let me explore these. Let me, look at my closet and see how this fits aesthetically with me and who I am and how I express myself. I mean, you'd be doing yourself a disservice or us a disservice as your viewers to not even give that content. Like, it's just like people don't see that. And it's like, at this point, just don't watch. I mean,
and it's interesting because I didn't even think about it in that way, because as soon as the pairs came in, Sneaker Fetish saw, like I showed him all the pairs of, before they came in, when they came in, and he's like, this opens up like a whole new viewership for you, right?
Correct.
I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, there are people that had never even seen your channel because I wasn't putting out content around Yeezy, so you don't even flow into the algorithm of what they're searching. And so like for the blue tint, for the 700 MNVN, when I got those in and I put that video up, and I was actually blessed, that pair was early. So like it dropped on July 5th and I already had it in hand. So I think I got my video out like that Friday, maybe Thursday or Friday. There were people that came in and sure enough, they're like, oh, I'm a new subscriber. Like I'd never seen your videos before. And I'm like, there was really this whole little pool of people I left there, but I don't feel like it was left there where there was some motive to go like grab, someone's attention. It's like, no, I felt like I was being 100% true to myself. If an opportunity presents itself, to explore something different, why not? And that's exactly what I was given the chance to do. Explore something different in Yeezys.
Yeah, and it's crazy. Like I did that sizing video because I just thought it would be helpful. It wasn't about the views or anything. And that happens to be one of my most successful videos. So I was like, I have like 150 subs. Like I know
that video blew up. It's funny because I went back to your channel to try to, I forget, like it was a certain shoe I was trying to catch up on. I think I went to go see like your 350 video specifically. Because you said like based on the year that it comes out and what colorway, the sizing can be different. Like the prime knit is a little tighter here, a little looser there. And I went and clicked on it. I was like, go ahead, look at that 30K popping. It's crazy, like new video. I love it. She showed out like this hit the algorithm and shot all the way up. So I love to see it. And trust me, it is really those videos you would never think. Like you think it's just a helpful video. You go back like a few months later and you're like, wow.
Yeah. And that's what people also don't understand. Like, on my channel, I have sneakers that's just like regular people's shoes. Sometimes it's like, oh, I want to get a Converse platform because that's a sneaker that I want to look at, and try on. And then I'm like, I want to do a video on it. Maybe other people are trying to get it. And then that video does well because there's people that are truly just searching to see more about this sneaker so they can go in the store and actually pick it up. A lot of these unattainable sneakers that we review on our page, like people aren't watching it because they want to go out and get it. Like the time has passed on that sneaker.
But and here's the thing, for a lot of times, if we're lucky enough to hit, on a pair, because I don't get pairs in early unless it's like a fluke, reason that I happen to have it in early. So by the time I may get something in, the shoe has long released, at that point, it probably sold out. I think that can create a disconnect between viewers and creators because, I've even posed this question. At some point, how relatable is it when everything is unobtainable to the average consumer? How much do you continue to tune in and almost like taunt yourself with these shoes that you can't get? And I am kind of always aware of that. So I know sometimes like, it's a little out there because I may have access through like, Kids Foot Locker that I may not have been granted if I didn't work there. So listen, show everyday shoes. I remember somebody said they commented and I can tell it was somebody not of my normal subscriber base, but it actually was a Raging Bull 5 video. Because as we know, independent thought is not accepted in sneakers. And I said, hey, I wasn't going for the shoe. I didn't want it. And they said, "Oh, well, you're just a hype beast, and so it doesn't have enough hype." And I'm sitting here looking like, I have showed Vans that nobody cared about. The Fear of God, Skid Grip, nobody cared about. I'm like, people, if you don't get up out of here talking about I am just
blocked,
a straight up hype beast. I have some of the most this was a $30 pickup, okay, at Kids Foot Locker. I'm like, dude, if you don't go somewhere,
right, it's crazy. So the last two things that I want to talk about before I let you get on about your day, because you probably got like 3 hours of B-roll that you got to edit.
Thankfully, I do not. I'm trying to finish this 1984 on Netflix.
Nice.
The horror movie Fear.
Okay, I have to put that on my list. But so what are some upcoming releases that you have on your radar, either within the next week or next month?
So I was blessed today. This is not a new release. It's a reach back and a blessing from Twitter, because I picked it up for retail. So it is a Sakai collaboration. I'll just say that. Later this month. So there's not a lot dropping in the month of July that sparks my interest. And I know that may be weird again, because I'm a creator, but there's just not a lot in this month. Like looking ahead to August, the Lightning 4, just if the sneaker gods love me in any way, I would just like it. And I would like the grade school pairs to have a decent box this time. Like, don't give me this basic Jordan 4 box. I want some color on this box. So the Lightning 4, hands down. I might try to plan ahead for that women's Shimmer 4. It's a lot of 4s going down. Might try to plan ahead for that women's Shimmer 4. I plan on reaching back for the Grinch, because it was missed all the time. Someone even tried to alley-oop me a retail pair, but it just wasn't my size. So I was sad about that, but I think I'm going to reach back for the Grinch, because nothing is catching my eye early this month. I think I'm going to reach back as well for the neutral gray, the 85, because it's decent price. And that's sad that I'm saying it's not above $400 after taxes and shipping. Right, this is where we are in life, but it's not. Listen, Mama got a bonus coming this month, so that's the only reason I'm contemplating it. So yeah, the Grinch was already on the list, but if I could make the 85 neutral gray work, because I have the low and I really love it. I don't know why. Like, I don't think I'm gonna go for the pollen. I'm just gonna be honest with you. The prototype 1 I will go for, and I will chop that sucker off.
Nice. Yeah, those are interesting.
I'm chopping them. Kelsey already did it, or she chopped a sneaker off similar to the prototype. So I will absolutely chop that sneaker off if I get it. Somebody was like, you got to do it on camera. And I'm like, I'll record it. I'm not doing it live. Y'all not about to catch me possibly messing up a shoe live. No, we not. Listen, I have dignity about myself. And I think I'm trying to see, I'm going to pull up to see if there's anything I missed that's coming out. But July is just not what I thought it would be for me. A lot of basketball shoes dropping. That's just because the Space Jam movie is coming up. The LeBron A South Beach. Listen, probably I would try to make a 7 work, but I guarantee you it would take 2 insoles. But I'm for it. I might make it happen. Oh, the women's Seafoam. I would lace swap. I don't want the laces they have in there, but they come with a lot of lace options. I don't know if I want the Alele May 14 or not. Like, I'm just not sure. I'm not sure. And I know how much other women may want it. So if I'm still unsure come release day, I may just let somebody else
I feel you on that.
Go for that. The OG, the shattered backboard. I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Virgil can keep them 2s because it's a no.
He could keep all those off-white dunks too.
The lazy dunks, yeah, he can keep all them too.
The lazy dunks, I'm weak. Okay, so for me, I agree. July has been pretty chill for me. I did pick up the Pineapple 90s, which
those are beautiful.
But those just were like a hype sneaker. They're just something I wanted. I love them. I love them so much. I think I'm gonna go for the black and white Dunk Highs. Those are women's release. I'm really trying to go for women's sneakers or women's release sneakers. I actually have an Asics on the way. I
Nice.
have not worn Asics in a very long time. I honestly used to wear them to work out. That was
Did
it.
you get
Like I only,
the Gel Light 3?
I did, and it is a collab, so I'm not gonna tell you what it
Nice.
is, but I just purchased those today, so I'm really looking forward to getting that sneaker. And then I'm not really into fours, so I probably really won't go for the Lightning fours. It's a nice sneaker, but to me, I don't know. It's just like pinky toe cutters, and I'm not going up a half size. Like I'm just not doing it. Like I'm just no. I'm already a 9 in man. So.
Yeah, that's a size up sneaker.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think I'm gonna chill. I was telling the bro Amir, he just popped in, but I was telling him that I do really want to diversify my collection a little bit more. I've been really heavy on the Jordans, but really to my core, I am more of an Adidas Samoa, shell toe, kind of more like that. I guess you would call it more the OG, the later.
The classics. The classics are fire.
So,
who is it? I think Kith has a lot of their Samoas with the collaborations they did with Adidas. They have quite a few that are still available on their website right now.
Yeah, I'm here for it. So I'm gonna be doing that. But yeah, July is, as you all can probably hear, like there's nothing in this room. I'm redoing one of our bedrooms in the house. So I'm like, all my money,
I got thunder going on.
all my money is going towards that. So just really trying to focus my, what do you call it, disposable income elsewhere. Is that what you call it?
Listen, we got adult priorities. Trying to adult is no joke.
Yeah. What's up, D Guy Juice? Thanks for coming through. So the last thing that I want to do before we get you out of here is if you have any pickups that you want to show off. I have a couple of things. I only have 3 sneakers. But if you have any, you can grab those and we could just show a little bit of what we picked up. And while she does that, I'll just go back in the chat and say hi. Okay, Amir, I know you listening.
I gotta go grab 2 more.
Okay. Sounds good. And you all put down in the comment section what you all are going to be picking up. I know a couple of people did say that they were going for things. What's up, Philly? Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the stream. What are you all going for in July? If y'all not going for those blue and black dunk highs, holla at your girl, because sis need those. I don't need them, but I want them. Who else we got up in the building? Letitia, you said, do you guys like the Joe Fresh Good New Balances? Yeah, those are fire. I think I'm going to go for some New Balances. Maybe not this month, but maybe next month. Like I said, I'm just trying to diversify my collection a little bit. What up, Starbucks Jimmy? What's good? Lightning 4s. So everybody's going for these Lightning 4s and these Pollen 1s. And I'm looking like a pass for me on both of those. But maybe that's just me. I don't really wear yellow. Yellow's cool.
Yeah, listen, all the Steelers fans, all the Pirates fans, I expect y'all to go for them.
That's true.
You're an Iowa fan,
Yeah, that's true.
Wu-Tang fan, I expect you to go for them.
Okay, so I'm going to show off a couple of pair of my sneakers. I'm going to just put myself on the big screen. It always works a little better. So the first sneaker I want to show is the First Use Dunk. As you can see, my light is not always the best in here, but these they came with 2. So it's kind of giving me like Sakai vibes, obviously. And then you do have the tongue here. You have a little saying. If you haven't watched my video, just go watch the video.
Yeah, watch the video.
Just watch the video. But these are fire. Shout outs to the person that helped me secure these a little early because it's been a pushback on the date for that.
Of course.
Let me show you another pair that I just did a review on, and these are fire.
Yeah, those are clean.
These are my babies right here. So you do have the spade on the tongue with the Jumpman in the middle. Like, come through details.
Go to the family cookout ready.
Hello, with counting my books. You say counting my, because we on the winning team. And then the last pair that I have not even put on Instagram yet, but your girl did secure the Hyper Royal Dunks. And I had to do it because I don't like telling everybody about everything about me, but I am in a black sorority, which is Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. So this is the colorway for our sorority. So this was a must-have for me. And then, I might put some red laces in it and make it a KU sneaker, but you just never know. We'll leave that for another day.
That would be fire if you did that.
Yeah, I think so too. So I'll put you on the big screen to show off a couple of your recent pickups.
All right, so I saw Wolf say he told somebody to get the 5740s. You won't regret it. So I agree. So I don't know if you guys remember, but I picked up. So this is the New Balance 5740. This is actually from their Pride pack, but they didn't go the traditional rainbow or anything. They actually collaborated with an artist, Zoe Lamb, and so she did this really fun, colorful print here that is all throughout the insole, and then
I like the iridescent.
Has, the intelligent choice there. Yeah, so the N is iridescent, very cool. And then you have like even the detailed texture on the back. And I love the age midsole as well. So that was one of my favorite pickups recently. Really comfortable to throw on. It is making me get more like non-branded socks just because I don't have time to be trying to match up all these socks now. I'm moving between like all of these brands. I need neutral socks. So this, I don't know if you guys saw, if you follow me on Instagram, so this isn't a purchase, it's just kind of like a gift via Microsoft. So there's an artist, Katie Customs. She did a custom for Jordan 1. So I got a pair. I know Cousteau had a pair, and he did a full video. He was part of like the whole rollout for it. But she customized.
Why you got to do this to me?
A Jordan 1 in Surface, Microsoft Surface colors. And I mean, just like when you look at all the detail in there, it's crazy.
She's cold with it, though. She is cold with
it. Like just. I mean, she showed out. Like she showed out. So I put up the outfit I did. I haven't gotten pictures in it yet, but it was just a grid with the Tommy Hilfiger, like the bright yellow, and these. And everybody was like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "I know. I don't have anywhere to wear it yet." I was like, "I gotta go places. I need to go somewhere." So she did her thing. So you guys can see. I think I did like a real unboxing. I just haven't gotten to doing it on my channel yet. And then that's just crazy. A really good summer sneaker. So this is the Waffle 1. I think it's a great sneaker on its own. Of course, some people say, yes, they get Sacai vibes, which I totally get it, right? It could be more of a toned down, everyday, non-dramatic look. But a lot of details there. You have like the Beaverton, Oregon. It is mesh. You have the use of like the mini swoosh, which I think is a really nice touch. They don't use it enough.
Yeah, that's nice. I love that. Love the little mini swoosh.
So yeah, these are just like some of my last three. So one was the gift from Microsoft, which was crazy to be able to get, and then those two pairs, of course, the Yeezys, of course, the 6s here. Still like hands down one of the best things I picked up recently, and probably still will for a minute. I'll be honest with you.
So TJ just knocked out my whole look, my 3 looks.
No, I
was like, wait a minute.
You got early stuff.
I gotta do what I gotta do. So, but shout outs to you. My last question, really quickly, just to kind of sum things up for you, is what do you hope that viewers get out of your content, whether that's on Instagram or YouTube or Twitter?
So overall, if we're looking at all of the platforms, I really just want people to, if you look at myself, just be you and throw it out there, right? Full force in a multitude of ways. Like I think a lot of people end up holding back. Go all in on whatever the content it is you're creating and put it out there, because you have zero idea who's watching and who you're empowering. Right. And that's what I've learned along this journey. But I would love for people to also take away from me, there is always more to life than shoes. And at the end of the day, like we have to hold ourselves accountable, right? I have to always hold myself accountable for whatever I'm bringing to a space or whatever I'm doing for my life, however I'm progressing it forward. So I want people to always know that, you know, I'm intentional about that, the way I carry myself in life. I just want people to look at me and go, okay, I can be intentional. I can be in charge. I can be in control as well of the things that are within my power, right? It's within your power to plan for the future, but also set some boundaries and still have fun today. And so I want everyone to be empowered to do the same. You know, I've had some of the best comments and the feedback I've gotten is, you know, I love your channel, still watch it, but I stopped buying sneakers a whole lot because of watching your videos. And I'm tackling credit card debt. I'm tackling student loan debt. My wife and I said, hey, we're intentional. We're saving for a home. So to know that people are comfortable and prioritizing their needs versus their wants, you know, I want people to take that away.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. So shout outs to Talks with TJ for being on Pop the Culture. This was like a dream come true, y'all. So just know that I'm super, super excited. And I thank you so much for your time. So everybody in the chat, if you are not following Talks with TJ, it is linked down in the description below, both her YouTube and her Instagram. So my next guest will actually be... Actually, you know what? I'm going to tell y'all a little later. Make sure y'all are subbed up on my channel as well as my Instagram, because I actually will have a whole list of ladies into mid-August that all have YouTube channels that are doing sneaker and fashion content. So please just be on the lookout for another amazing live next Monday. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. And TJ, if you could just stay in the backstage really quickly so that I can touch base with you. But thanks so much for everybody for being here, for engaging. It makes it a lot easier when people actually engage and they're feeling the content and really, you know, listening to what we got to say and giving their input. But, you know, like I always say, you know, it's your girl, K Fresh. And until next time, you already know what to do. Stay fresh.